isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is my audience. Okay. So I'm giving my speech on child obesity and how the school environment affects child obesity. So, according to Jabbar Osbertham, among children and adolescents aged 6 through 11 years, the obesity incidence has increased from approximately 4.2% in the 1960s to approximately 20% in 2007. For the main topics of this paper, I will focus on how peers have a big effect on child obesity and another study that was being done on children and parents to address the issue of child obesity to partnering schools. Obesity can be caused for many different reasons. A person might be obese because of genetics, while others are obese because they don't take care of themselves. No matter what the circumstance is, obesity is an issue and needs to be addressed. Many times people aren't aware of all the things that can cause obesity, which is why I feel it is important to address the issue of obesity being caused by school environments. Children learn how to exercise and eat healthy from their parents. It is also important for children to understand that as they are very young, so once they get older, they start making smart habits of their own. Children who grow up only eating junk food and never getting exercise will think that it is okay to live like that. Family, households, schools, media, magazines, and schools are a big part of the effect of our health. One thing to help children live a healthier life is being aware and doing something to change it. The school environment is supposed to be a place where children have more physical activity and better meals. Although schools may be providing school students with the tools needed to get their daily physical activities and healthy food, there isn't enough being done. There have been studies done on students in different ways within the school setting. According to America's Children Obesity Crisis and the Role of Schools, childhood obesity is a significantly big problem in America. In one article I found, a study was being done on children and parents to address the issue of childhood obesity to partnering schools. They did several activities to engage children and parents in educating them on the importance of childhood obesity and ways to live a healthier life. The United Health Group Foundation wanted to do something to help others to live healthier lives, so they decided to go to surrounding schools and they came up with a program called Activate for Kids. This program works with nurses, school coordinators, and the community to create better school environments. The program will positively promote and engage kids in healthier eating styles and physical activities. Community events will take place for families as well as weight management. The nurses within the school will have obesity educating training and have to complete assessments for body mass index. They used this program in 6 different surrounding schools and got similar results. The nurses, school coordinators, and community are not the only people to better the school environments. Working outside of the school environment will help students and coordinators to engage within the school as well. There are better lunch programs and cooking classes happening for families. Because there is a need for physical activity and engagement programs, parents will understand better and be able to help their children live healthier lives. Okay, children are being influenced by their peers too. And their peers may not always give them the best benefits and help them. Sometimes they can cause depression by what they say to their friends about how much they weigh or what they're eating. And that's not going to help kids be happy about what they're doing in the school, and that's also a big problem is because they're hurting each other and it's not a safe environment. So in this article, studies show that peers have a big influence on obesity. This is a problem within schools because children are being influenced by their peers and being caused with sadness and depression because they aren't always being positive towards each other, which can really influence a person's health. Peers can influence someone to have healthy weight control, but a lot of it is not that way. In one article, it states that programs such as Big Brothers and Big Sisters has a positive influence on peers when it comes to eating healthier. In the school setting, studies have shown that peers from different age groups have a positive influence on each other. Students in younger grades look up to the older peers and act as if they were the same age. They did a study on younger students who look up to older students, specifically the older students who don't eat healthy and lack exercise. They focused on height and weight measurements to collect data which helped when finding the obesity rates within the school. There were increased obesity rates in all grades. The next study that this article talks about was done on students not in specific grades. This study doesn't separate peer effects within the grades, so kindergartner could be paired with a high schooler. These results show that higher grades had a 1% higher obesity rate than younger grades. Programs and interventions need to be put in place in schools because that will help reduce the rate of older peers and their obesity rates. Just like that study they did on the younger kids in kindergarten looking up to high schoolers, they found that the ones that were looking at people that were eating healthy were following in their footsteps and looking up to them, and the older kids were encouraging them to exercise and go on a run with them and eat healthier. So the rates of obesity were decreased in that study. If the other students are being active, then younger students will. There have been many studies that have proven child obesity is a problem within many areas, and I covered just a few of the studies I found, such as the Active for Kids program that worked with nurses, school coordinators, and the community to create a better school environment for the students. And then the other one that I found that I told you about was the peers. There's also many other ones such as climate and having a positive environment, just having students better each other with and having not such a negative area for the students to learn. If the climate of an area is better and more positive, then students will be more happy, and that's what that study talked about. So like I said, the peers can affect them, and then just the way their home life is, if parents raise them and teach them to just live healthier lives and eat healthy, then they'll carry that into the school, and it'll just be way more effective. Then the last study that I didn't touch on, but I can share with you, is that the students and how summer affects them. Just because in the summer nobody wants to work out all the time or eat healthy because we like to be in the pool or we like to lay around. And so just how the summer can affect their eating styles, and that study actually proved that students with lower income houses, that live in lower income houses, are actually benefiting when they go back to school. They're doing better with tests and stuff, and that surprised me because I didn't realize that actually was a thing. And so, as I pointed out earlier, the school systems are struggling, but are creating programs and providing just better ways for child obesity to decrease and children to live healthier lives. So I hope that people like you and others can realize that the school environments do affect children's health, and that there are studies being proven and programs being provided to help this issue. Thanks.